Welcome to the Startup Grind.
Hello, welcome to the 5th episode of Startup Grind Bratislava, tonight with a very inspiring entrepreneur. I would like to kick off and say thank you to our partners, KPMG, Telecom, and also Faculty of Management for making this event possible tonight, and also for smooth collaboration before this event. Without further ado, I would like to introduce tonight's guest. He's a serial entrepreneur, best known as a CEO and founder of NAI, Mr. Peter Zalesak.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, guys. I'm glad to be here, and I hope you will enjoy this evening and maybe to learn something and have in your plans some changes after it. Maybe also, if you will have some questions to me, don't hesitate to ask. For the beginning.
Okay, Peter. I would like to kick off with first question about your background. So, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school, and how did you get into the business?
Okay, I studied in math-oriented gymnasium in Slovakia, in Bratislava, which was good background for me for the next studies. On the beginning or in the student time, I also was fan of electronic. I constructed my own devices such as hi-fi, loudspeakers and such things. It means the electronic was each time for me something what was in this time for me, I know that it will be my future. And in the not only audio and video electronic, but also I was one of the first people who owned home computer in Slovakia or in Czechoslovakia in this time. Maybe you know something about the Apple II model, which was one of the first Apple model. I don't have the Apple, I have the Sinclair, which was also a special model, cheap, but possible to programming and make all these things, mostly what you can imagine that you can now do with PC computer. Mm-hmm. But computers in this time was really big machines in half of the rooms, and it means this was something exciting for me to have it in home and to really know it personally and try to use it and programming it. Okay, after that I went to Technical University. I studied technical cybernetic robotics, which I never used after the school, but it was also I can say the time when I known my future partners in the business, and I think from this time I set up the team for the next business in NAI. And during the university years, I started my, we can say, entrepreneuring. It was video industry. I established a video atelier, which I filmed and make short videos for families and also for some small companies. And this was the time before the Velvet Revolution. It means the entrepreneuring was not so official. It was really starting to do something else than others.
Okay. So let's talk more about early days of NAI. I'd like to know how did you meet with your co-founder and how long did it take until the company became number one on the market?
Okay, when I made the video business and the customers are asking if I can search for them also some devices which they want, and I was able to find it because I need it for my work, and I met the future partners in Germany, in Hamburg, and I started to deliver the goods or import the goods from Germany to Czechoslovakia for my customers, but it was like launched the small scale retail, which we can say ordering service, because the people was waiting for the goods a long time, paid in front, and because in the market was mostly nothing in this time after the changing, then the business started to grow slowly, and after that we decided with the partners to establish the company. It means it was joint venture with German partners and then some people from Czechoslovakia, from which we stay in the company until now, only two of us. It means me and Jan Tomas.
Okay. I think not many people know that NAI was one of the first companies in Slovakia to receive a license for foreign trading. I have two questions. How did you manage to do so? And do you think getting this license was the crucial point that eventually meant that your company could grow and become successful business?
I don't think so that it was crucial, but it's true that in this time there was only one way how to import the goods, and it was through the state-owned companies, which was called somewhere like trade. In Slovak it's podnik zahraničného obchodu. I don't know. It was trade company owned by the state. And only these companies can import the goods because the license was not given to anybody else. And we persuade the Ministry of Foreign Trade to give us the first, we can say, license for private company. The ministry was in the Prague, and after that we can say we opened the doors for other companies to today the same, and after that they changed also the legislation, and no license was necessary. It means it was no advantage for us because it was only temporary that we was the first, but after us, mostly everybody can do it without any license as it is now. But in the beginning, it was not so easy.
Okay. So let's talk more on general note. It is well known that electronics retail business has always been a business with very low margins. So what do you think is the essence that kept you alive in this business and actually made you to survive many of your ups and downs? What is the crucial or kind of the most important part of the business?
Yeah, it's true. The electronic market differs from any other market because of low margin, which are coming because of the competition, but also because of the natural of the business, which is really fast and new innovations and really big competition. And we have to find some low-cost, creative, efficient ways to sell the products and services. And what is important in our business is also the size of the business, because if you are doing a really low percentage of profits, you need to have some crucial side or break even size that you can really be a profit-making company. And this is the reason why many of other similar companies end their business in previous years, and some of them are still in red numbers. It means it's really not easy, and I believe, and it's also the situation in Europe, that only the biggest players can survive, because the scale is really important.
Okay. Let's move forward. We know that your recent acquisition of Electroworld, Czech Republic and Slovakia made you the leader in electronics retail business. However, I'm interested to hear about the position of your e-shops that you operate in opposition to the biggest internet shops in both countries. So what is the position of these e-shops in both markets?
Okay, maybe I will start with the second part of the previous question yours, because you asked for the essences and I didn't finish the answer. Okay, we try to be other than competitors. With this, that we want to have all our team, it means from CEO to the shop assistant, to have the same targets or feeling in the company. This is the one thing which I try to implement in and maybe to try to have this feeling for everybody in the company. And we have, like, what I can say, values in the company which are important, which should be important for everybody. And there are generally three of this. Is simplicity. It means we are trying to do things simple, that the customers, but also in employees and team inside the company have to find simple way for all processes, and not it means to make the things more simple than they are. The second one is English fairness. It means we are trying to be fair for not only to the customers but also to the partners, for example suppliers or others, which is maybe different that some of other companies are doing it. It means they are fighting more. We try to be partners, and also for employees. It means to be fair and not maybe give some or say something what we cannot do in the future. This is not fair. And the third value, which is important for me, and I hope also for others in the company, because this is what I am doing, is the passion for electronics. It means I have the passion, and I want to also from my colleagues to have the passion. It means in the stores also, but also in the management, because to do business without the passion, it's only you can do it only short time, but it's really not long-term functioning.
Yeah.
And now to the
question.
Second question.
So what is the position of your e-shops?
Okay.
In both Czech Republic and Slovakia.
Yeah, the market is really changing fast, and you said we are the leader. Yes, after the acquisition of Electroworld, it means we have the stores also in Czech Republic and some good position there. But we are leader in the brick and mortar business, not more in the e-commerce. Means there are players which are much stronger in e-commerce. And this is also my target and target for the company, because I know that we not do all the things, and there is big place for improvement. It means in technological side, but also in the people thinking. And this is our goal for next year, to improve this area, because now, for example, we are selling approximately 10% through the internet customers, and the goal is to have this share or this portion approximately 30%, which means that we need to be as good as other e-commerce competitors. Because there are some must in our business. The must is to have the fast and efficient logistic, to have the competitive prices. It means they are generally same in internet world and brick and mortar world. It's not more differences, which push the margin down. But in other side, the customers are preferring to buy the goods not only through the website, but they want to see it, they want to have the service and personal assistance. And I think this is the future of the retail, because these two things have to go somehow together. It means what we call it's not only brick and mortar channel and internet channel, but it's like multi-channel. It means you have to use all the advantages from one side and other side. And the pure internet players are now really changing their behavior. They are opening showrooms and places where you can show the goods, where you can really service the customers or show them how the technological devices are working, and they are coming be similar to us. And in other side, we are investing a lot of time and investment to the e-commerce to be at least similar to them. It means these two channels are coming be common.
Okay. And would you potentially consider merging all of these e-shops of yours into one complex platform in order to take lead in the e-commerce space?
Yes, I think the future is as you said, maybe to have one strong internet site or internet shop, which will be which will have the background of strong marketing. But now the situation is that we want to fight with the competitors also in the pure online war, and be consistent in the classical retail. It means not have, for example, not have other assortment or other prices in web than you have in the stores. It should be same when it is NiSK. But for example, NiSK is growing 2 times or 3 times faster than Shopee, which is pure online player.
I would like to move forward to your cooperation with private equity firm Enterprise Investors that invested into your company in 2005 and I think exited after 8 years. Mm-hmm. So why did you decide to initially sell your shares to them, and eventually why did you buy these shares back?
We are in Startup Grind, and I think all of you know what does mean to find some investors or why to sell the company. In our case, it was maybe a little bit others than the startup community is thinking. Yeah? We was in 2005 maybe in the peak of expansion with 15 stores throughout Slovakia, And we get a lot of offers to sell the company completely to the brand investors, or partially to some financial investors. And I personally know that we need to grow faster because it was good time to this. And this was necessary some external financing capital. But me and Jan don't want to sell the company completely. It means the solution was enterprise investors, which is the biggest private equity fund in Central Europe, with portfolio of hundreds of companies in not only in, for example, in Czechoslovakia, they invest not only to Nike, but for example, some years to Orange or Kofola. It means mostly bigger companies with good name, and they decided to enter Tunai, but with minority stake. It means we was in position still like majority shareholders with control of the company, but with some, we can say, veto right of the financial investors. It means the reason was to grow faster and to take some investment from them and monetize somehow our work. But we know in this time that it is only for a limited period, because private equity funds are investing to the companies for usually for 5-6 years, and they don't want to sell the shares again with profit. It means, and when they come to the time that they want to sell it, that it was after the crisis, 2010, with generally no market, because public market was mostly closed, no IPOs in this time, and there was only possibility to sell the company completely. It means to sell our shares together with their shares to some brand investors, or finally this was the reason why we agreed to buy out themselves back to us, and because if it was after the crisis, also the price was not bad.
It is well known that your company employs a lot of young people. I found out that the average age of your employees is below 30. So why is that? Isn't it big risk to employ so many young people that usually have very little or no experience at all?
Okay, when approximately we have now 1,500 people in the company, in Czech and Slovakia together, and from this more than 1,000 are shop assistants in Nike Electrodome or Electroworld stores. And this is the position where the people have to really be able to learn fast new technologies, to have the passion for electronics. And this is the reason why so many young people are in the position, because this is generally coming together. And but it doesn't mean that we have only young people in the company, because in the management positions they are colleagues which are in the company sometimes more than 20 years. It means with a lot of experiences and background and education. But yes, the average comes from this lot of many peoples which are in the stores and which are mostly young people.
Mm-hmm. Basically, my next question is about your fuck-ups. So I know that you've been in the business for a couple decades now. So I would like to know what were your major fuck-ups and what did you learn from them?
Okay. For example, after the wholesale area, which we had in 90s generally, because we started like a distributor of big brands like Sony, Panasonic, and others, we decided to open our own network of big stores, and the first Electrodome was opened in 1998 in Bratislava, in Zlaté Piesky. And in this time we have no experiences with such a format, and it was maybe not easy to set up all the processes and control and so. And after 1 month of selling, we find it out that the security company, which was there for really controlling and they should secure the goods, was stealing the goods. It means they was making really nice organization how to do it through the cashiers, through the warehouse, and after first inventory count, we find it that this was in this time in Slovak crown that some millions of crowns was missing. After that, I never employ any security company in the stores because they are people which are not getting so high salary, and they are really motivated rather to steal the goods than secure the goods. Okay, fuck-ups. 2007, we entered the Czech market with 2 stores in Moravia. We open in generally middle-sized cities, 2 stores, and crisis came, and our shareholders, enterprise investors, decided not to expand more because it was risky. But scale of or company in Czech Republic with 2 stores will be never profit making, and without the expansion it was not possible to really compete with the other players there. That means after 2 years, I think in 2010, I decided to close the stores and go out from the Czech, with the plan that we will come back. But it cost a lot of money. That means it was a fuck up.
Okay. I know that you are a serial entrepreneur. Besides being a founder and CEO of NAI, you own a golf resort. You are in a property development business, and quite recently you entered the winery business. So my question is, how do you manage to look after so many different businesses?
Yes, for example, property business, it was a result of unavailability of retail spaces in the past. When we want to enter to some city where was no shopping center, that only way how to open Electrodome was to build the building. It means this was the reason why we created property company, which is constructing and then operating shopping centers. It means and also the reason was that we can make then better condition than it was in generally in the beginning of opening the shopping centers, that the rent was really high because the first developers want to make money fast, and when we build it in our own, then it was cheaper. That this was the reason why I built also the property company, which is now operating like 15 shopping centers in Slovakia, not only for Nike but also for other retailers. And it's business which is, we can say, not similar than retail. It's really long-term goals, and you have to have long-term financing, and the return is longer, but it's completely other business. But the reason was, as I explained. Golf resort, when I get some money after selling the shares to enterprise investors, I was thinking about how to differentiate the investment and what to do. And the goal was to really change a little bit Slovakia for more like touristic target for the people abroad. And I think that the golf resort which we built in Senica is now one of the top 100 golf courses in Europe. Not we are saying it, but it's independent, we can say, how it is, auditors. Yeah. And we can now say that they are coming, more than 1/2 of the visitors are abroad, Czech, Austria, and other countries. It means this was the reason why to invest there and to build something which is not common, but something exceptional.
Mm-hmm. How about winery business?
It's not so much business. It's more my hobby, and because I love wine.
Okay.
And together with this, we try to sell it also to others.
And is there any other area of business you would like to tap into in the future? Perhaps something very different from which you've already established or run?
Yeah, the acquisition of Electrovort last year was, I think, huge step for Nai and for me also. It means we have a lot of work there, at least 2 years, until it will work as I want to. It means now I am fully concentrate for this, for Nai, for Electrovort. I am back in executive partially because many things you have to see, many things you have to understood before you make some decision. It means I really spent a lot of time there. Mm-hmm. I am not planning to do anything else now.
Okay, my last question is, what would be the message you would like to give to aspiring entrepreneurs or young people who might be considering starting their own business?
Yes, I'm not in first evening or event with startup community. I think especially startupists or small companies which are starting have to really think about what the customer needs. It means to not look how the technology is fine or what my presentation is, but really what want the other side. It means there which will buy the services or the products. Sometimes we are missing this in our projects. Maybe that sometimes it's better to grow the business slowly and steadily, it's the right word. Because if you will get a lot of money from investors, and it can be sometimes dangerous because you can spend it really fast, and this is the reason why many startup projects are not successful. It means rather slowly and test it and then invest. If we are really sure that the customers want it, and it has market, because this is the most important. And what is, with starting of the business, important is to have good family background, because in the beginning it needs really not a lot of time, but all of your time. And without good ground in home, it is not possible. When I started, I was sometimes working 12, 13 hours, Saturdays, Sundays, and you have to be prepared for this. Without this, it will be not successful.
Thank you. So let's now move on the questions on Slido. So there are a couple of them. I'm going to read it loud. So how do you keep an enlightened passion in the business over the course of so many years? Interesting question. So what's the passion you found in the business and how it keeps you motivated?
My passion is create new things, to bring the idea in the life and start some projects. I'm not the person which want to do a lot of administration and I don't know, to be the executive which will then control the people. My passion is to come with new ideas and starting. But it doesn't mean that the details are not important. No, when you're implementing something, then the details you have to control and go deeply to the problem. But the passion is to new projects, generally.
Okay. Have you ever invested into a startup or smaller company? If not, would you consider it? What would be your requirements for investment? That's a question for startuppers here.
Yeah. I am in advisory board in, as we discussed, in some SaaS startups. Not yet investor, because I know that if you want to be good investor, you have to be not only investor but also partner for the guys. I don't have time for this now. It means if I will invest to some startup, then only when I will see that the project is something what can bring or fill the gap on the market, and I can help with this. Because money you can get from the bank, but investors should be active. In other side, it doesn't have sense.
Okay, so if you were to invest into a startup, would it be more strategic decisions? So potentially this startup might be implemented within your operations with one of your ventures, or it might be something that excites you, like some high tech, something that is really just kind of somewhere in the future where there is no like.
If you are asking. Like my role, if I will be by the strategical decisions or want to manage the company?
No, if the investment would be more from the strategic point of view, or you would invest into startup that is just your excitement, like it has nothing to do with your current operations.
It should be not necessary in our concrete business what I am doing now. Yes, this. For example, the golf project was totally other thing, and or other area. But when the idea is nice, and I see the market, then why not? It can be also completely other area or other business than but you have to have time to.
Okay. Let's move on to another one. In a growing company that requires to expand in multi-locations, when is it the right time to employ experienced managers?
Good question. When we had the financial investors in the board, it was Robert Mantz, American guy, which was part of board of directors in NAI. his view was that all important decisions need some external help. It means some advisors, which we find it sometimes there, sometimes somebody who really know about something about the things. But my experience is that they doesn't bring so many knowledge and didn't know the business as good as the people inside. It means I am not so big fan of external advisors if is this not something really special which you need to, which you don't know anything about. But if is this your business, which you are, what you are doing, then you will make better decisions than external advisors. They can advise you, but my experience is now we are using only few of them compared to the time when we have the financial investors, because it was slowing the decisions, it was sometimes wasting time, and then the others can be faster.
Okay. Do you think that our government is supportive for entrepreneurs? Maybe we can, check it out.
No.
So what would you suggest? What would be the... I'm not going to politics, right? But what would be the entrepreneurial package?
There are many things. From the taxes, which was much better before than now, because the flat tax, I think, was a really good idea. Now, many of the entrepreneurs and many of the companies try to, I can say, transfer the profit abroad. These are the problems. In law, for example, employment law, or how it's called in English, if you have to follow some rules which was signed somewhere in the outside your company, and you have to follow something what is really out of your business, and your people don't want it, but you need to make, we can say, general agreement which doesn't have anything with your company. These are crazy things. And we can continue. This is a lot of things.
And if you can compare the situation between Slovakia and Czech Republic, what would be the main difference in the entrepreneurial activities or the field? As you also do business in Czech Republic, so...
Yeah, the situation is not so different, because in Czech Republic there was a long time also the left-oriented government. Now maybe the situation changed slowly. Maybe the big difference, when I can compare it in business, is the currency. We have maybe now a little bit easier life with euro. In other side, they have advantage to somehow regulate or change all the things what we have to pay for. They don't need to pay for. It means for the entrepreneur is maybe more difficult to do business with Czech crown, but for the states it's a better situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think we have time for 2 more questions. So have you ever employed people even though you couldn't afford them, but know your gut says yes? And has this gamble paid off?
What's mean gut?
It's the feeling, kind of like the
okay.
internal.
yeah, this is sometimes. No, I can say no. I never employed such a people, which from the first impression I saw that maybe it's not the right people. But maybe my mistake is that sometimes I didn't fire them. After.
Okay. So the fire fast rule
Yeah,
is important. Right?
Sometimes you have to say no, yeah, which I am not so hard.
Okay. Do you have any role model or someone who you look up to and who motivates you?
Yeah. Sure, I have some person which motivate me in the beginning. When I am looking now that one of our which motivate me, not inspired me. Yeah. My motivation now, as I said, is to bring some new things to the market, new technologies, and this means that if somebody from our team says, this was good idea, this help us, this help the customers. For example, now we started with tablets in the stores when everybody can find all the information about the products, can study. And when somebody from the store sent me the email, this was great idea, it helped us, it is much better than it was, this is my motivation. Okay. It means to see that something is working good and to have the feeling of the people. It can be your employees, but also customers sometimes when I am in the stores and asking, speaking with them. This is the motivation. Or for example, in the golf project, if you will see really some reports that the best golf courses in Europe, let's see, Penalty Golf Club in Selice. This is the motivation.
Okay, and in regards to inspiration, so is there anyone who inspired you or still gives you the inspiration?
Yeah, it was Czechoslovakian entrepreneur Baťa, which I think was really clever man, and most of the things what he wrote is still valid. Also, when the world completely changed, but there are some truths which you cannot change. And in the new area, yeah, I learned in last years and months that the detail is really important, and what was doing really well with details was Steve Jobs, yeah, in Apple, for example. Really to see everything how it must be, and not to put to the market or product or service which is not finally done.
Okay.
Details.
So I think we can relate this to one more question. I'm curious, and also the crowd, is what are your innovative plans to get in front of the e-commerce competition?
There are plans, yes, sure. Innovations are connected with the retail, not only e-commerce, but as I said, it must be multi-channel. It means to find the right way. As I said, for example, the customers, the shop assistants, or everybody in the firm should have same platform, which have to work in the stores, in the home, or in the phone. It means to to coordinate these 3 or in future also now more channels to one platform which will work, which will be not, because to be best in online is, I cannot say easy, but it's not innovative. But to be best in the retail means all the channels together. And the war will win these companies which can use all the channels for the customers, because the customers are different and you have to fulfill their needs.
Okay.
I don't know if I explain it
Yeah, it makes
enough,
sense.
but yeah. The innovation comes from connecting all these functions.
Okay. How about Jeff Bezos from Amazon? How would you commend his endeavors? I mean, he established Amazon initially as a internet bookstore, and now he's launching rockets to Mars eventually. What he wants to do. I mean, what do you think about his plans and also his previous success in similar business that you were?
Okay, it's a little bit different concept that I am speaking about, because if you compare it with Chinese companies which are doing the same thing, it means you are not really retailer, but you are only the platform where the retailer can offer their goods and somebody buy it. Yeah? This is general the concept of Amazon or Alibaba in China or others. It means it can be easy copy and some additional value to find there is different. They are strong because they are doing it perfect, well. Maybe what should be their advantage is good and fast logistic, but it's for me not really the right retail. It's platform for retailers to customers, which is something different, but yes, it's a good idea and it works. But the future will show if is this really the only one and the right one.
Okay.
For example, in Slovakia, the last numbers are showing that Amazon is less strong than the Chinese guys. It means we are buying more from Chinese website than from Amazon.
Okay, before we wrap up, is there any question from the audience you'd like to guys ask somebody who doesn't have access to Slido? Okay, so thank you very much, Peter.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
having you.
Thank you.
You're on the clock.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I would like to give big thanks again to our partners, KPMG, Slovak Telecom, and Faculty of Management. And now I would like to invite you to some networking also with Mr. Zalesak, if he can find some time to stay, a couple more minutes. And for those of you who are interested to join us for our next episode, it's going to be in January, and we're gonna reveal the exact time in the coming days. So thank you very much for coming, and it was great to have you here. Thanks.